Alright, hello class. Today I'm going to help you with assignment number 11, which deals with a simulator that involves horizontally launched projectiles. The simulator is going to ask you one of three different types of questions. The simulator can ask you to find the horizontal distance at which the projectile lands on the ground. We call that the range. So that's one type of question that they could ask you. The second type of question they may ask is how fast is the projectile launched? Since these are all horizontally launched projectiles, that's going to represent the speed in the horizontal direction, which we've learned to know that that is a constant speed that will always be the same as the projectile heads towards the ground. And then finally, the last question that they could ask you about is going to be the height. At what position in the vertical direction is the projectile launched from? So that's what we mean by height. All right, so let's start off with a question, and I'm going to work through this on the handout that you've got attached on Google Classroom. This first question is asking us about the distance here. Okay, so it says Birdman is flying horizontally at a speed of 27 meters per second and a height of 82 meters. Birdman releases a turd directly above the start of the field. How far from the start of the field should the robot hold the bucket to catch the turd? Okay, so we're given a couple pieces of information here that's going to help us. We've got an initial speed, 27 meters per second, and again, that's horizontal speed, and then we've got a height of 82 meters. All right, so I'm going to go to my handout here. We're working problem one that deals with the range of a projectile. That's the distance. Okay, and we were told in this problem that the speed is 27 meters per second. So I'm going to record that value there in the problem, and then the height we were told was 82 meters. 82 meters. So on my table here, I've got information separated into a horizontal and vertical categories. And so when we're dealing with two-dimensional projectile motion, it's very important to distinguish the difference between those two directions and keep information categorized in one of those two directions. And so the speed that we were told that the projectile was launched with, that's the speed at which it's moving in the horizontal direction. So if we've got this projectile, and it's being launched above the ground, and it's launched with some speed, 27 meters per second, we're told. I'm going to draw that as a vector here to the right and label it to show that that's the speed that it has as it's first launched. Now we know that as it travels towards the ground, it's going to have both horizontal and vertical motion, so that as it approaches the ground, it takes on that parabolic trajectory. It's going to have a curved shape to it as it approaches the ground. And so the question that we're trying to solve here for this problem is how far does it travel as it hits the ground? So what is the range? What is the distance along that horizontal direction? All right, so let's record some information that we know in our two columns on our table. We were given the velocity in that horizontal direction. That's the 27 meters per second that we were told. We were also told the height. We were told that this projectile was launched from a position 82 meters above the ground. So our displacement here, we can think of the displacement as negative 82 meters, because as the projectile falls to the ground, it ends up at a position, when it hits the ground, it's 82 meters below the position that it started at. So that's our displacement. Okay, the height is 82 meters. The displacement is reported as negative 82 meters because it's indicating the change in the position of the projectile. So I'm going to record negative 82 meters for my displacement. And then a couple other things that we just need to know about projectiles is that they accelerate as they move in that downward direction. Gravity is the thing that speeds these projectiles up as they fall towards the ground. And so being that gravity acts towards the ground, we're going to say that the value of that acceleration is 10 meters per second squared. And it's in the downward direction that we'll indicate with a negative sign. All right. Also, because this is a horizontally launched projectile, there's no upward or downward motion at the beginning of the problem, so the initial velocity in that y direction, the initial vertical velocity for these projectiles is always going to be 0. Going to the horizontal side of things, the acceleration in the x direction, the horizontal direction, is also 0. We're going to assume that there's nothing to speed up or slow down these projectiles as they move from left to right across the screen. Okay? And so this information will be true for all of your problems. No initial velocity in the y direction, negative 10 meters per second squared for the acceleration due to gravity, and no acceleration in the horizontal direction. All of your problems will have those three things in common, because those are all things common to horizontally launched projectiles. All right, we're after the range. We want to know the horizontal distance here that the projectile travels. So to find that, we need to recognize that we're dealing with horizontal information where we know the velocity, and we're looking for the range. So we're going to use equation number 1 on your formula sheet that relates the horizontal displacement to the speed and the time of an object that moves with constant speed. Okay, there's no acceleration here, so we're just dealing with a constant velocity multiplied by a time to find a distance. All right. So the trick here is we know that velocity is 27. What we don't know is the time. We've got to have the time in order to find this distance. So that's what makes this a two-step problem. In order to find the time, we're going to need to use our vertical information that we were given. Okay, the equation we use for these vertical side of the projectile is equation number 5 on our formula sheet that relates the vertical position or vertical displacement to the acceleration of the projectile and the time. All right, since we want to know what the time is, we need to know the displacement and the acceleration. Those were two things that we were given at the beginning of the problem, so we have both of those. I'm going to rearrange this equation first and get it in terms of time, since that's what we're after. And then once we know the time, we can plug it back into the horizontal equation to solve for the displacement. All right, so how do we take this equation and rearrange it in terms of time? All right, the first step is to get rid of the 1/2 fraction. We can do that by multiplying both sides by 2. And when I multiply both sides by 2, the 2 and the 1/2 on the right side of the equation cancel each other out. And so we're left with 2 times our displacement is equal to acceleration times time squared. All right, the next step would be to get rid of the acceleration on the right side of the equation. So we can get rid of the a by dividing by acceleration on the right, divide the left side of the equation by acceleration as well, and now the a's on the right side cancel each other out. Now we're left with 2 times our displacement divided by the acceleration is equal to time squared. The last step is to get rid of time squared. We want to know time, not time squared. So I'm going to take the square root of t squared, take the square root of the left side of the equation, and so time then will be the square root of 2 times the vertical displacement divided by the acceleration. All right, we have values for delta y and for a that we can plug in. So I'm going to squeeze that in up here right above. 2 times our displacement was negative 82 meters. And we'll divide that by our acceleration, which was negative 10. When we calculate this, times negative 82 divided by negative 10 comes out to 16.4, but then we take the square root of that to get 4.05. And that'll be the time. That's the time in seconds for how long it takes this projectile to hit the ground. So I'm going to record that in the middle of the table. The reason the time goes in the middle is because it's independent of either direction. Time is a scalar quantity, so it doesn't have a direction associated with it. You can use the time to help answer information on the horizontal aspect of projectiles. You can also use the time to help find information about the vertical aspect of projectiles as well. It's independent of either direction, so it's going to be found here in the middle of the table. All right, now we're ready to find the horizontal distance. We know what our time is. We were given our velocity, so we're going to plug those two values in for our equation. 27 meters per second, traveling at that speed for 4.05 seconds is going to give us a horizontal range of 109 meters. And so that's my answer I'm looking for. Now I'm going to go back to my simulator. I'm going to tell that robot to be positioned at 109 meters. And so when I type that in, the robot heads over there to that side of the field. Check my answer. And here comes the Birdman flying at 27 meters per second. It drops the projectile from 82 meters above the ground, and we've got our robot in position to catch it, so we keep that projectile from hitting the football field. And that's the goal here. For each of these three problems, we're going to try to get this thing positioned so that it catches the projectile. All right, so that's question one. I'm going to do two more videos, one that shows you how to find the speed of the projectile, and then the third video to help find the height from which the projectile should be launched. I hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next video.